Welcome back to Talking Dribble. Round 8 all wrapped up. It was a big weekend. Plenty going on in the league. Plenty to talk about. Welcome to Talking Dribble episode
30.
Episode 30. That is crazy. It's fine. How you going, man?
I'm good, man. It was a great week of footy, as you just said. Parked up on the couch. There were a few stinkers, weren't there?
Yeah.
Like, I was looking on it, even like Dogs game. We're well and truly back. Even that, it was a 90-point win. So I was like, there wasn't too many games where you're glued to your couch. You're just parking up for the entire day, apart from probably Cattery v Pies.
Yeah, we probably had the game of the round in the worst overall round of the year so far.
Yep.
There was a stinker after stinker.
Yep.
Even with the Q Clash, there was the Sydney, GWS versus Sydney.
Yeah,
then
stinker.
God, there was some smashings.
Yeah, Hotball v Richmond.
Yeah.
Who wants to watch either of those teams, am I right?
It didn't really. The tone wasn't set on the Friday night, wasn't it?
No.
Friday night was just an absolute stinker. I was watching the first half and it was 27-7, and then I was like, I'd rather do anything else than watch
really
this game.
Both those teams, and I was high on the old Fremantle. They are probably the most boring team I've ever seen.
I don't think I'll watch a Freo game for the rest of the year.
We're talking on the car ride up here. I seriously don't think I will find myself watching a Freo game all year until they somehow fix it around and somehow start playing some exciting football.
Yep.
It is a brutal watch. I think I prefer West Coast or Richmond to watch.
Yeah, honestly.
Or Hawthorn getting beat. Literally, it's just painful.
But should we start with the Dogs? The Dogs are back. Well, we said that last week. Probably the week before. But we actually are back in terms of everyone is chatting. Are we for real?
We are. By the looks of it, we're looking pretty for real.
Sitting at 5-3, just annihilated Port at the Rat.
I understand. Since Bond's been back, just 3 absolute blowouts.
Yeah.
Saints blew them out, GWS blew them out, Port blew them out. Yeah. No one's ready for us.
No.
Right, it's so good. We went from probably one of the weakest midfields in a while that we've had to somehow having the deepest midfield in the comp again. I don't know how he's done it. Bevo, just a stroke of genius every year. He cops his shit. He cops it from pretty much every media outlet out there. And he's
moving the magnets around and he just seems to be, he's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers.
Got a lot of flack for moving off McRae, moving off Caleb. And then, Caleb's struggling at North. Yep. McRae's doing his thing, but dominating. I wouldn't take him in our midfield anymore. I don't think we need him.
Right now, actually, I was going to do this later in the pod, but I put together who has the best midfield in the league.
Oh, yeah.
Because everyone's chatting about our midfield. Like the Dogs, we have a very deep midfield. People didn't think before the year started, but I was like, who actually does? So I thought I actually got 5 teams who I think have an argument to have the best midfield in the league.
All right, yep.
So we'll start with the Dogs. We got Bont, Ed Richards, Joel Frazier, Treloar, Libba, Matt Kennedy, Sanders, and I even put Davidson on the wing there.
Yeah.
And then Timmy English at the ruck. That's pretty stacked.
Just end the list there.
And then Brisbane, they're stacked as well. Lockie Neal, Josh Dunkley, the Ashcroft brothers, Hugh McCluggage, and Big O in the ruck. That's pretty late. And then you can always just plug in Zach Bailey, Cam Rayner. They're pretty stacked.
That is quality.
The Suns, they're probably kind of scraping the barrel, but Matt Rowell, Noah Anderson, Took Miller, Sam Flanders, Jared Witts. That's a pretty good
That's not bad.
midfield.
That's not bad, yeah.
Then the Swans, Chad Warner, Errol Gouldem, when he's healthy.
Yep.
Isaac Heaney, Brodie Grundy, Rowbottom, James Jordan.
It's not too bad.
So that's you got wing, you got a great tagger, explosive midfielder in Warner and Heaney.
Yep.
And then the last one, the Pies. So you got Nick Dacos, Josh Dacos, Steele side bottom, Pendlebury, Lipinski, Ned Long, and Darcy Cameron in the rack.
Yeah, look, that is pretty solid. There's some good midfield running around.
There's some
good midfield.
But
let me tell you, do either of those teams have 2 Marcus Bontempellis running around?
They don't.
I think you've got your answer there.
We have the Bont, and then we have little baby Bont.
Little baby Bont. He's growing. He's getting better. Bit of Libba in there as well. So, telling you, the Doggies midfield, who would have seen this coming?
We did.
Oh, obviously, because we're just all on top of it.
Ed Richards, man. Ed Richards. He's the highest rated player in the comp right now over the course of the 8 weeks. He just doesn't put a foot wrong at the moment.
He's got Ed's pocket now down in Ballarat. Yep. Telling he's kicked 3 from there now.
Yeah, he's
absolute stud. Yeah, no, it's super exciting. Just the depth. Because we all know Bevo's just absolute ideal situation is being able to play blokes out of position.
Yeah,
Like he
yeah.
loves it, and now he's actually got an excuse to do that.
And now
He's got
Bond's up
about 10
forward.
midfielders he can
Yeah.
just move around.
Like the depth of our midfield, we can put Bont up forward. He should have had 4 goals. He had 3 goals, like what,
Yep.
23 disposals and 3 goals for just a casual Bont game.
Yep.
And then there's also talks. There's talks. Who's the favourite to sign Zach Butters next year? Who's the favourite? The Pups.
Welcome to the Pubs.
Welcome to the pack,
Give him a
Zach
clap.
Butters.
Zach Butters, new Western Bulldog.
Right, imagine we get him. That would be, give us the flag.
So what would we have to give up for a bloke like Zach Butters?
Because he's restricted free agent, so you have to, how it works, I think it's like he would agree with us to sign a contract and then Port would match it.
Yeah.
And then we'd have to give up something. So
Yeah,
it essentially becomes like a trade. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So, we'd give up a first rounder. You'd probably have to give up a first rounder and maybe a future.
I'd give it, man.
2 future first round picks.
I'd give it. Even on the weekend, like he killed us in that first quarter.
Yeah.
But then he just didn't have the cattle to
No.
run with him for the rest of the game.
No.
He is so good at football.
Yep.
And you plug him in this doggy's midfield. Like at this point we're looking at it, it's like, do we actually even need him? But I would give up a lot for him.
Oh, yeah.
Because we've got Bont aging out, Libbers at the back end of his career.
Ads
Ads is aging out.
Yeah.
So then he can come up with our Ed Richards, our Joel Frazier's. Hopefully Riley Sanders sticks around
Yep.
when Tadsy comes in. But like we just got blokes just easing in. The transition is going to be nice and beautiful.
Oh, and
I'm
then speaking
keen.
of, Timmy English.
Redemption game.
Redemption game against our old ruckman, Jordan Sweet.
Yep.
Just proved a point.
I understand. I was
Prove
stressing
the point.
because after the first quarter, Sweet definitely had his number.
Yeah.
And I was like, Timmy, this is your backup.
I was
Like,
on the doggy.
go
I was
beat
looking
his
on the
ass.
doggy's page, and it was like people being like, "Oh, Jordan Sweet's just towering up
Yep.
Timmy." And Timmy, I think he
He's
saw
like-
that. He looked at the phone at
He
the quarter
did.
time. and Was like, "Mate, I need to
Step my game up.
switch on."
100%. And he did that.
Oh, he did that.
Did that well and truly.
Yeah.
I was excited to see. It looked like his aggressiveness was back.
Yep.
Because we haven't really seen him be hitting the packs lately, have we?
No,
Since
no.
those few concussions, he looks like he's taking a step off.
Yep.
This was the first time in a while we've seen him hit the packs,
Yep.
get his hands up there. Been good, especially with Darcy Yamaria. We've needed a bloke like that. Norton stepped up as well. 19
Yeah.
touches and 3 goals.
Yeah.
Went under the radar heavily.
Yeah.
Had a huge game. We had blokes step up. And I'm just loving being a Dogs fan.
It's great, and it's what are we sitting at? We're 6th at the moment. We've got Gold Coast this week, so
Yeah,
that'll be a
big
test
test.
for us. Another test
In Darwin.
in Darwin, so they
Bailey-
typically play pretty well there.
Bailey Dale better watch out.
Yeah, what happened there, bro? What
Holy.
is going on? Willy Rioli.
Willy Rioli.
Pretty sure it's probably crossing the line when you threat. Like you actually
Threatening someone's
physically,
life.
yeah.
It's concerning. You know, Paul Curtis gets 3 weeks for a tackle.
Yep.
This bloke goes and threatens someone's life and hit him in the face. And I think he just got a fine.
He got a $1,000 fine for the contact to the face, and then the AFL just warned him, being like, "Hey, just remember to respect your opposition." Like, mate, he
Probably
literally just
don't.
threatened his life.
Probably don't try and kill him on and off the field.
Yeah.
All right? But I'll be surprised because Noel Belt's still running around. So maybe Willy Rioli will have some sort of curfew or won't be allowed in Darwin
Yep.
or won't be allowed back at the Rat.
Yep.
But I'm not sure. But angry Willy.
Yeah, very angry Willy.
Very angry
Yeah,
Willy.
Willy's not happy.
A hard Willy.
Willy Rioli fans right now, stop listening. I know there's plenty of them. Is he the shittest bloke in the league?
Possibly, bro. It was so funny because after that Hawthorn game, I loved him because he was giving Hockball a heap of shit. I'm like, get around him. And then since then, you just see him the dirtiest stuff
He's
off
very
the
dirty,
ball.
yeah.
He just late hitting shoulders.
Yeah.
His arms are flying everywhere, hitting blokes. I'm like, you can't be doing this.
Yeah, just about every time I watch a Port game, he does something like that. And
Mm-hmm.
then, this is a bit too far. He posted on his story as well, didn't he?
Yeah,
Like just
texted another Doggies player as well, warning Bailey Dale.
Oh.
So you probably can't do that. It's not great from Willy.
yeah,
poor
plenty,
Willy.
plenty of drama with the Dogs.
Mm.
We'll transition that into Baz Smith. What is his problem? I've had an absolute belter against the Pies.
yeah.
Saturday night, game of the year.
Yep.
He was probably best on. Danger took over in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
That was a ripping game. Like,
great game.
like you couldn't write it. Jack Crisp. Game on the line in his record-breaking game, and
Just shanks it.
I for sure thought he was going to kick it, and
Mhm.
it was just a great effort for Pies to even be in that position.
Yeah.
But I think it worked out well. It kind of humbled the Pies. Cats got a win. It's kind of leveled out the playing field. Pies
Yeah.
were looking like running away with that
It's
top
really just
spot.
week to week, isn't it, these days?
You just can't pick it.
It was great seeing all the lads get around him at the end.
Yeah.
That was very heartwarming.
Yeah. But then Baz randomly just a stray to the Dogs.
It's like, I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
Do you blokes think our home game is at Ballarat and forget that they play at GMHBA?
Yeah.
They're not playing in front of the G. They're not playing at the G in front of 85,000 people every week.
No.
Right? We did the exact same thing this season for our 100-year anniversary.
Yeah. There's a part of me that likes it. It just sucks that the doggies are on the receiving end of it. Like, I like players showing a bit of their personality and, giving jabs here and there. And Baz has been doing that, it seems to be just every week. He gave the dogs a little stray saying you don't get that in Ballarat. And then Bonts, he was opening up Arthur's Milk Bar.
Is that just the most Bont response ever?
Yeah.
Like, just super cool, calm and collected, so polite about it while wearing his Arthur's Milk Bar hat with Arthur's Milk Bar in the background. Well, he's just opened up his little cafe, the grand opening.
Yep.
And he's just taking questions like an absolute superstar. I'm like, how could you throw a stray at this bloke?
Yeah. So what did he say? He was like,
Guess we're still on Bailey Smith's mind.
Yeah.
On Bailey's mind, he's like, I guess there's just not as many people to flip the bird to in Ballarat. Like, pure class.
He said enough to like,
fuel the fire.
Put a little fuel on it. But he didn't drench it.
Yeah.
Fuel.
100%.
But
and then Bailey Smith's probably just going to get killed by Tom Liberatore, isn't he?
Yeah, probably. He'll murder him.
That is going to be a belting. I just don't get it. Like, we did so much for this bloke.
Yeah.
And like, he royally fucked us. Like, he checked out well and truly before he did his ACL last season. And we supported him through that whole situation. Moves to Cattery. We get shit all for him.
Yeah.
And then he's just coming out throwing strays at us.
Yeah, it was very weird. And it was like, it's not even like anyone was really thinking about it. It's like, mate, like, you do your thing at Geelong. We don't really, you're a gun, but we don't care.
We don't care. We've got Baby Bont.
Yeah.
We've got Riley Sanders.
But
We've got Ed Richards.
It sets up a great matchup for round 11?
Yeah.
We have him at GMHBA.
Shocker.
Shocker.
Jeez.
So no, it'll be a great game. I think everyone's looking forward to that. That's Thursday night footy on that round.
So excited. We just need to win that. We really need to put the foot down and go beat them at Cardinia.
Yeah. Anyway, should we move on? Freo can't play in Melbourne again. 61-point belting to St Kilda. That is, this season just makes no sense. Like, you think Freo's good, and then they travel, and then they're shit.
Mm-hmm.
St Kilda, we belted them. They've been looking. They looked alright for a 2-3 week patch. Then they were shit again, and now all of a sudden they're beating Freo, who Freo's supposed to be this next big thing.
100% now. Apparently, Ross is boss again.
Yes.
So it's all over. I don't know. I don't know with Freo. I just don't think they're a good team. It's like, if you can't win away, we saw this with Gold Coast last year. They didn't lose did they lose a game at home?
No, Gold Coast didn't.
And then didn't make finals because they couldn't win away. You have to go places and win. All right? That's what the best teams do. Freo are not a good team. I don't know if it's their list or if it's their coach. I think Longmuir is in shambles.
Yeah, he's I don't know. He's got that weird contract, so I don't even know if I swear they could just move him to a different position. But I don't know if he's a good coach. That's the thing. He's had this list for 6 years, I think.
Nothing with it.
6 years. They've got one of the most stacked lists in the comp, and they're just not doing anything with it.
100%. And then just even worse news for him, Hayden Young. Looks like he's going to be out for the year as well. So they reckon season-ending surgery on his hamstring.
Bro, that guy
just worse goes to worse.
The soft tissue injuries, man. Once you get one, they
stack up, and he's got all the potential in the world, but it's not looking ideal for him.
No.
So I don't know. Freo just in no man's land. It's like the top dog in Perth is being willing to take, and they're just not stepping up. West Coast are a pile of crap right now. They are as rough as a watch as you get, and somehow Freo is like neck and neck with them as who would you rather watch? It's insane. Would I rather watching Freo play boring football for 2.5 hours, or would I rather Harley Reid show something once a quarter?
Jeez.
Probably Harley Reid.
Jeez,
probably taking that. I'd probably rather him flipping the bird than watching Freo play footy right now. It's crazy.
Nah, they're the most boring team. But Essendon, talk about them. Their injuries are piling up, and you feel bad for him. Harry Jones, see his ankle? That was
sad to see. Yeah. Not sure how it's not worse.
Yeah.
Rolling that twice, I think everyone thought the worst. But it looks like not as bad as we thought.
Yeah, it's only going to be like 4 or 5 weeks.
So that's huge. That's huge. Ridley, cooked.
Yeah, Ridley. And then they don't have a ruckman. Well, they have Goldstein, but he's like 37 years of age.
He's, pushing retirement home.
Yeah, so you feel bad for them, but they still got the win over the Shinboners. Shinboners are just, they're too worried about all the off-field stuff than the actual on-field.
Seriously.
Like, lads.
They don't want the corner owner end.
It's a weird precedent to set when it's like you ban someone from the media because they've been talking bad about your player or whatever. Does that mean just anyone who speaks bad about a player, like that club can just ban them. Like,
I'd
Port
like
come
to-
out and be like,
yeah.
talk and dribble, you can't talk about Willy anymore.
Because we're a big dog army.
Oh, exactly.
Like us, Kane Corns, everyone's listening.
Channel 7.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the big three. But no, it's crazy. I didn't think Corn was in the wrong either.
Yeah.
We've been watching a few Shinboner games this year.
Yeah.
Not many. Yeah, I don't know.
We may have said that a few weeks.
We did.
From the start of the year, honestly. He just hasn't shown.
Is Corn reheating old soup?
Maybe.
Is he coughing the old talk and dribble pod?
But she's just impact. Like, he just doesn't have impact.
No.
Well, it doesn't seem. He doesn't look like he does much with the ball. Very empty stats.
Well, Corn's literally just asking him to test him.
Yeah.
Like, throw the load at him and see if he's actually built for it, which I think he is, but they're just kind of hiding him. It's good for my super coach, so I don't think they need to change a thing. Let him get these cheap touches. Let him get the ball.
Supercoach doesn't see impact.
No,
I don't
exactly.
know.
They just see touches.
Yeah,
Just see
exactly.
touches. But yeah, no, it's not ideal. I think, I don't know, North, you're a low market team. I feel like you kind of want this publicity.
Yeah.
You want blokes speaking about your club and not in the way that they're getting spoken about.
No.
And I thought Clarko would step up as being a mature, winning coach, would step up and be like, you know what? Maybe we do test our best players. Maybe we do take this on because we've been around it and like nothing's working. We've been shit for so many years. Maybe it is time to change some stuff around the club and see where we can go. But I don't know. Shinboners are going to be shinboners.
Yeah, they're trash. And they're not looking like getting any better.
Quite bad at football. Lids back on.
Lids are back on.
Yeah.
Cemented on.
Yeah.
They're no good.
Feeling for Goz. Gets his hopes up every week.
They're
are
actually
so
no
bad.
good. Like, their midfield, it's midfield or bust. It's Cripps, Walsh, Hewitt, Chera. It's them or bust.
They're
There's
having a good
no
years.
depth to this
Yeah.
team.
And then losing Silvani just really hurts because now it's just Wiedering, a one-man team down there in the back line. It's him or bust. Like,
Yeah.
it's pretty crazy.
They've actually had some decent losses. Like, they had Brody Kemp was doing some good things,
Yeah.
and Jack Silvani, kind of these swingman kind of players, and Silvani was killing in the back line.
He was.
So, but everyone has injuries, and there's just there's no depth. There's no, like, plan B. It's
Yeah.
like, if Cripps isn't getting you 35 and a goal, there's no chance.
It's just weird though because it feels like this bloke's having some good years because like George Hewitt's having an insane year.
Yeah.
Chera's doing his thing. Welsh is starting to pick it up. De Koning's an absolute stud. Wiedering killing it. Elijah and
Hollands.
Ollie Hollands.
Yeah,
God, mate.
yeah.
Yeah, he's having a good year. Elijah Hollands has come back actually doing some good stuff.
Yep.
Like they've actually got some good players here.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
No, but
Just all not clicking.
They had, I think it was 13 players in this week's game with less than 13 disposals. Like, that's not sustainable.
You're not going to win many games.
So,
when you're
like,
doing
just
that.
it's their top, 8, 9, 10 best players, and then they just drop off so quick.
Mhm.
So, you're not going to win like that. You need,
No.
every team has, like, a couple players that, are they at, the AFL level? Carlton seem to have, like, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these every week.
Yep.
So, honestly, I think their list is probably a bit overrated.
Yeah.
We're
I
actually
think
talking
it's
about this. I
great.
think Carlton's list is overrated, and I think Port Adelaide's list is overrated.
Port Adelaide might have one of the worst lists in the comp.
How Kenny got them to a prelim last year is beyond me.
This is the thing. Like, they're talking about start the car.
Yeah.
Bro, Kenny's your man.
Yeah.
He's done. He has overperformed every year with this squad.
Yep.
What do they have apart from their midfield?
Yeah.
And then, like, they have a ruckman as well that was a backup at us. So, like, I don't even know if Jordan Sweet's anything special. Their forward line is non-existent. Like, they're really relying on, like, an Ollie Lord to come on.
Yep.
Georgiades, I don't think the kid can kick. He's good above his head, but he can't
and
kick.
he used to be really good at the
Yeah.
set shots. Maybe it's the knee injuries have
Got
caught up.
Willy
with him.
Rioli threatening lives out here. And then the back line, Radigali is actually doing all right. Ali is doing all right. But it's like, there's
But it's
nothing.
nothing like to write home about.
No.
And that's actually a difference between Carlton. Their spine's elite. It's just the rest of it. But Port
The rest.
Adelaide's spine isn't even any good.
No.
They've just got a great midfield, a great young Horn Francis Butters. Will Drew's decent.
Yeah.
And then Rosie, they're playing him off the half back.
I know, and even that, it's like,
But no,
they're
like
trying to
even-
replace Dan Houston back
Yep.
there, but it's like, he's a midfielder.
Yeah.
Like, put him in the mid. It's good for my super coach again, though, so don't listen to me, Ken, or Carl. Keep him down back.
Yeah.
It's great for me.
It's
But yeah, it's really, if they lose Butters, that's very concerning for them.
and there's talks they will. So
100%.
we'll
I
have to
think
see it.
SA has a new top dog. Adelaide is taking
From-
charge
They played well this weekend.
from football.
They because they're kind of in no man's land a bit.
Yeah.
Week to week, you're not sure what you get with them, but they smacked Carlton around the park.
Yep.
And they were just everywhere. It looked like they had 5 players more, like 5. It looked like they had about 30 blokes on the field. So,
100%.
but yeah, beat Carlton by like 10 goals. So
Yep.
But I think that says more about the Blues than it does about Crom,
100%.
honestly.
I think Crom are going to be hit and miss this year, but I still like them a lot.
They'll be top 8.
Yeah.
It's just, will they be top 4? Like, we could be competing with them. They could be competing with us, like the Cattery, Hock. But
100%.
no, they're better than last season.
Oh, 100%. Real quick, I had a big realization on Saturday.
Mm.
So we found ourselves at, where were we? In Kyneton, watching local footy.
Yep.
Sis was playing netball, watching a bit of local footy. Came to a realization that local football umpires are so much better than AFL umpires. Holy shit, it's much easier to watch. It's like bloke runs with the ball, gets tackled, holding the ball.
Yeah.
There we are. Quick snap decisions.
Yeah.
Like bloke puts his hand down, gets kicking in danger, just like that.
Yeah.
Just quick decisions. And it's like you actually know what you're expecting. Blokes just understand, get up, go, and the play moves on.
Yep.
None of these freaking bloke takes on 3 blokes, drops it, but they're like, oh, did it get hit out in the contest?
Yeah.
We're
Did
gonna
he try
keep
and
it
get rid of
going.
it?
Did he-
He did? Okay, holding the ball.
Oh, seriously, it was so much easier to watch. I'm like, this is what we need.
It's
quick
way
decisions.
more black and white. Because, and the
So much
umpire we were
better.
watching, there was a few of them.
Yep.
One of them was a bit older, but one of them was younger. He was probably 16, 17. And he was just
taking charge.
he knew the rules.
That's an umpire I respect.
Yeah.
That's an umpire I'm going to battle for.
Yep.
None of these blokes in the AFL just making shit calls.
No.
These guys, I'm telling you, local football umpires, keep an eye out. This Saturday and Sunday, if you're watching a bit of local footy, they might have the bad call here and there,
Yep.
but it's better than what we are getting dished up in the AFL.
That's decent call. Now the umpires, it's even more complicated. They got the earpieces now. They got someone telling them how to do their job. What's
Did you
going
hear that?
on?
He's like, what did he say? Did you see the umpire?
Oh, and was it Friday night?
Yeah.
No. It was Thursday night.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't remember what he said.
he said he's been told something,
Yeah.
and they stuffed it up. Whatever they did, it's a joke.
It's a joke.
They've just cocked it up.
Too much. They're just throwing too much of these
Way
umps.
too much.
Way too much. How are you meant to take all
They
that
don't even
on?
have facilities, so we're getting into them, and we don't bash umpires here. We don't. We love the umps. Anyway, but they don't have facilities. They don't have like a training facility where they can train and have meetings and actually talk about the game.
Oh, yeah.
I used to think that this was their full-time job,
Yeah.
but it's not.
Starting to realize it's not for most sporting things. Like it's the same with the NFL.
Oh.
These blokes aren't full-time
So they
gigs.
just have a regular job throughout the week.
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
working a 9 to 5, then coming in and then just
Getting abused.
calling a game in front of millions of people
Damn.
and just get abused week to
And
week.
you can't even catch up, be like, hey, where'd we go wrong?
No,
So all they have is the post-game meeting. That's
Yep.
all they have.
100%.
So that's tough. That's
It
pretty
is
hard
tough.
to perform at your best.
Yeah.
And apparently adding the 4th umpire on the field, they're bringing in VFL umpires. And just the quality's dropping. But as you said, maybe VFL umpires are the way to go. Maybe we should just
Maybe
scrap
just
all AFL umpires, get the local
Just
umpires
bring
in.
local umpires in. I'd like to see it for a week. I'd like to see it. And don't change anything. Don't listen to what the AFL's telling you.
Yeah.
Just come in, call the game how you see it,
Yep.
and let's see how we go this week.
Okay.
Calling
Decent
for it, AFL. Also, AFL released the play ratings for AFL 26.
Yeah.
Pretty flat. In what world can Patrick Cripps be the highest rated player in the comp, Ben?
Who's over Bont?
He's over Bont and Nick Dacos.
Jeez.
So he's rated at 94, Dacos and Bont at 93. I know it's only a 1 point off. What are we doing here?
Look, Cripps did win the Brownlow last year.
Seriously, though.
I don't know how much weight that holds anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bont should be the highest and probably Dacos as well.
But like 94 and 93 is very low.
Yeah.
Where's our
it is.
98s at?
Yep.
Bont's at 99.
Yep.
If there's 100 overall, give it to Marcus.
Speaking of the ratings, the AFL top 25 players came out literally today.
Yep.
Dacos is at 1, Bont's at 2. So
So they've missed again.
pretty flat about that. And Crip is at 3.
Have we ever seen a bloke get voter fatigue for something he hasn't won? I feel like Bond's got voter fatigue for the Brownlow and stuff.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And he's never actually won one.
Yeah, it's like, lads, get him one before this fatigue kicks
Yeah.
in.
It's like, oh, he's up there every year. Let's
Yeah.
bring in someone new.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No, he's cooked now. He won't win one because our midfield now is
So
just
good.
hitting a point where it's so deep. Ed Richards, Frazier, they'll be benching votes.
Mhm.
Libar and Trelaw, of course.
Yep.
So, no, that's
100%.
going to be tough for Bont to ever get a Brownlow.
100%. Should we move in to our top tipper of the week? So we
Yeah.
had 2 blokes score the top tippers for the Talk and Dribble AFL Fantasy tipping this week.
Yep.
A few blokes had some rough weeks, but these guys stood among the best.
Let's do it.
So we got a couple here from Mitch Wern.
Look, what can I say? Got to give this one to the boys down from Geelong, never in doubt. And, that was the difference this week. Prime Danger's back, baby. Get on the Cats train now.
So he's a Cats fan. He's a
Decent
Cats
call.
fan.
Hey, right. Danger looked
Prime danger.
scary.
100%.
So his role he's playing, like the midfield forward role.
Yep.
Right. Is there anyone better? Like Bont is doing that.
Yep.
Who would be the best? Probably Bont and Danger at
Can't
that
tackle
role.
danger.
Yeah.
He gets the ball, just run straight into the bloke.
Explosive
I've never
ass.
seen blokes just bump off him so
Yeah.
quickly. It's crazy. Now, it's a good shout. Not sure about the category right now, though. Bit off him. So,
I'm
But-
off them for sure.
yeah.
I don't like them at all.
No.
But they're playing well.
playing good footy.
playing very
They're going to
well.
be good. They're going to be good.
They'll
And
be
then,
there.
100%. And then our last one from Ollie Plunkett.
Right, Poiser boys, I hope you're going well. I am absolutely thrilled that I've been given the opportunity to be recognised for taking the absolute piss in the footy tipping this week. I know I'm not quite the juggernaut that I strive to be down at 35th on the ladder, but I'm glad that my efforts are being recognised. Bit of advice for all the tipsters out there. I'll be tipping the Saints every week from here on in. I don't say I'm losing another game. For the rest of the season, Ross, the boss, has got us headed in the right direction. So, buddy, there's a bit of a tip for you.
Not sure about that one.
Yeah, that's all about me. Speaking of the Saints, buddy, shout out James Burnett. Got to the New Orleans Saints. That's my team. I think they're closer to the Super Bowl than a lot of people think. Absolutely sensational pickup. They're probably going to win the Super Bowl next year. So love that from the Saints. Burnett will have a ring headed back to the Macedon Rangers. And, quick shout out Plunkett's Premium Gardens. Best landscape gardening service in the Macedon Rangers. Might have to tee up a bit of a sponsorship for you talk and dribble boys. Anyway, hope you boys are going well. Enjoy the rest of the potty. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.
That's quality
Holy shit,
stuff.
we need to get him a
So you gotta-
seat.
oh,
Fucking
bro,
hell,
get him in the
he's
middle.
gonna end.
Holy
That
shit,
is
he speaks better
hilarious.
than us.
Plugging his own bloody gardening. Hey, you got to respect it. You got
Bro, we've got a
respect the hustle.
sponsorship on here there.
Respect his gardening service.
That is quality stuff.
That is
Ollie
very
Plunkett.
funny.
Look, good job. That's
I was
well
act-
done.
He's actually had a decent shout. Saints have Carlton this week. They
Yep.
can win that.
Oh,
And they
yeah.
have West Coast the next week. And then Melbourne. No, they have Gold Coast and then... Oh, no, they don't have Melbourne. Who do they have? Oh, no, they have a bye. So they should win
Yeah,
that.
okay. Yeah. I'd back him in, I think.
No,
That's
funny.
quality content.
That was very
I think
funny.
speaks better than us. Get him in the
Probably.
talk and dribble suite right now.
Get him a seat.
That's
Nah.
quality stuff. That's quality stuff. And gave a little shout out to Burnip as well. Love that. So he's a
Yeah.
Saints fan in both. The AFL and the
gotta
NFL.
respect it. Gotta
That's
respect
quality.
it.
That's a commitment. That's a committed fan right there.
That is.
I love it.
No,
No, this is quality. We love our top tippers, don't we?
No, doing well, doing well. I didn't have too great of a tipping round,
No.
but
No, I don't think I'll find myself up there at all this year.
nah.
No, I fell. I actually got worse. So I went from 40th to 41st.
How many blokes are there? Like 45.
Oh, no. I think Harrow's in front of me now.
Lump. Anyway,
So
the Q
tough.
clash. Speaking of the Q clash, we haven't really touched on that. Gold Coast had their chance to show we're this real club. We're going to be running Queensland this year.
Yep.
And stunk it up.
Yeah, big time.
Stunk it up. And Brizzy, they're kind of just cruising, but like
So-
getting dubs. It
they're
feels like they're
so
not playing
cruisy.
their best footy, but they're just getting wins.
Yep.
And they're sitting. Are they on top?
Yeah, they're on
Yeah.
top. So this is the first time ever, apparently, that a team after a certain amount of rounds
Yep.
is sitting top of the ladder, but has the worst percentage out of anyone in the top 8.
Really?
So they have the worst percentage of anyone in the top 8, and they're
Damn.
sitting top of the ladder right now. Hats off to them.
Yeah.
This is like just the definition of they're in cruise control.
Yeah,
they don't
true.
care how they get it done. They know they're going to get it done,
Yep.
and they're going to be there in September.
Yeah.
They're just going to be cruising to a premiership. They still going to be the premiership favourites, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like-
I think so.
Not much has changed. They lost Danaher,
Yep.
so that's a big loss. But I feel like they just find ways to. Fagan's a good coach.
He is. He really
good guy.
is. He's
They just tick along.
yeah, and I just love their team.
I do.
Love their midfield.
Yeah.
Like they're probably
Love
my
dunks.
yeah, just love dunks.
That's pretty much. That's just what gets it over the
Yeah,
line.
it
We
does.
love dunks.
Should we get into our better Brownlow votes? So top 5
I like
players
it.
for the round.
Yes, sir.
Start with we go 1 to 5, don't we? Yeah.
Go
we do.
1 to 5.
Do you
Yeah.
want to start us off or do you want me to?
You start us off, and then I'll take
Yeah.
second. I
The
reckon.
1 vote, we've got Isaac Rankin. Absolutely balled out this week.
Yep.
He was in the mid, like he was a bit of mid, bit of forward. I think he had 2 goals, 30 touches.
Yeah, damn.
29 touches and 2 goals. So 1
Pretty
vote, that
impressive.
gets you a vote on the better Brownlow.
100%. Coming in with the 2 votes from the Essendon Football Club, we have Zach Merritt. Absolutely balled out. 35 touches, just cooked them all around the ground. Probably was the biggest reason they got the dub in the 4th quarter. Just took charge, absolutely destroyed that North midfield. Earned him the 2 votes this week.
He's just carrying that club on his back,
He is.
isn't he?
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. He's doing what like Cripper was doing for a few years
Yeah.
with Carlton, where it's just like they're so shit, and he's just wheeling them along to get a couple of dubs.
Yep. 3 votes. We've got Ed Richards, highest rated player in the comp, 30 disposals and 2 goals. Thank you very much. Ed Richards gets his 3 votes in the better Brownlow.
100%. And then for the 4 votes, probably very stiff not to get the 5 because I don't know if you can have a better game than he had this week. But Max Gawn from the Melbourne Football Club, 35 touches, a goal, and 47 hit outs as a ruckman. So 35 touches and a goal.
Damn.
But Max Gawn absolutely just destroyed it. The only downside is it was against West Coast. So they don't really have a ruckman.
Everyone's just getting whatever they want.
If you have a ruckman going up against West Coast, put him as your captain for Supercoach. You are bound to get nearly 400 fantasy Supercoach points.
Poor Bailey
It's
Williams.
crazy. Bailey Williams is just copping it. But Maxi Gawn earns the 4 votes on the
valid.
better Brownlow.
5 votes, though. Another ruckman. This has got to be the first better Brownlow.
I think so.
2 ruckmen to appear in the same week. 5 votes, Tim English for the Western Bulldogs. 27 disposals, 30 hitouts, 3 goals, 17 score involvements.
17 score
As
involvements.
a ruckman, what are we doing against his old kind of ruckman
Little
duo,
protege.
Jordan Sweet, his little protege. So it was like a bit of a rivalry game.
Yeah.
And Timmy English, and he actually had a pretty flat first quarter, and
First
then
quarter was pretty much nowhere to be seen.
and then he was the best player on the ground after that. So Timmy stepped up. It's his best game in 2 years, and that gets you the better Brownlow votes.
because
the
it's
5
not a
votes.
midfielder, even though he's a ruckman, basically a midfielder.
Yeah.
We're not just giving it out to our midfielders. Bond could have easily found himself on here,
Absolutely.
but we're fair, we're even, and we spread it out nicely, don't we?
Yeah, we only had 2 dogs.
We only
on
had
this
2
week.
dogs. Next week we'll probably only have maybe 2 or 3. But we'd love that. That's why it's a better Brownlow.
That's it.
We still need to tally that, put it in a total, and see where it all ranks up right now. Same
Yeah,
with
we need to get a leaderboard.
100%. Same with our next award, the Elly Kunderwood Award.
Elly Kunderwood.
Everyone's been waiting all week. I feel like there's been a lot of tomfoolery going on this week, hasn't there? A lot of blunders from a few blokes, a lot of wobblehead behaviour.
Yep.
You got the list as well there?
Yeah, I do. You go 1, I'll go 2, you go 3.
100%. I'll start off with the 1 vote we found later in the weekend at my favourite team running around, Hockball.
Yeah.
Nick Watson, 3rd bloke this year to flip the bird out.
They're just flying.
They're just flying. Birds are flying everywhere. Literally just everywhere. I can't believe it. So he flipped it to a few fans and stuff, and he kept going. It wasn't a couple of times. He was like flip, turn around, flip, turn around, flip, turn around. That's where you find yourself with 1 vote on the Elly Kunderwood.
And he'll cop a fine, won't he?
Cop a
He'll
fine, 100%. He'll definitely cop a fine, and he also copped 1 vote on the Elly Kunderwood.
Yeah, that's valid. 2 votes, already touched on this briefly. Willy.
Yeah.
You can't be threatening blokes.
Yeah.
You can't be doing that. Bailey Dale, we need to do a welfare check up on
100%.
Bailey Dale. Hope he's okay.
Best to him, yeah.
He's probably mentally, emotionally, socially distraught right now.
Yep.
Willy. Being just a bit of a shit bloke. And you can't be doing that, especially to our pups.
Not to our little pups.
Lucky you won't get the 3, but he didn't get the 3 because someone else abused our pups.
100%. And that's why he finds himself with the 3 votes, doesn't he? Bailey Smith.
Yeah.
We touched on it before as well, but you can't be coming at the pups, especially after we just had a huge win, and you throw an absolute shade at us for playing in Ballarat. You've been there before. We were sticking with you through thick and thin, where you really let the club down at times, and the pups were there for you. You left us. We did nothing to you, and you just came in throwing shade at a club that doesn't need it.
No.
We've been through a lot this year. With the Mara situation, we lost you. There's a lot going on, and we're striving. And he's just come in and tried to dampen our mood. So I'm off him right now. You earned yourself the 3 votes on the Elly Kunderwood. I think you've been here before as well.
Yep.
You got to be careful. The votes are stacking up for Sir Bailey Smith, and he's got to be very careful about what he's doing in the future.
No, you got to respect it. Got to
100%.
respect it.
There's our Elly Kunderwood.
That's the Elly Kunderwood. Should we move in top 4 teams?
Yeah, love it.
Top 4 teams. So Jakey and my top 4 teams of the round. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. So coming in at number 4, I've got the Cattery. They've jumped in this week. I think I had GWS in there last week. They've jumped in after the Giants went. I've lost 3 straight. Cattery, big win over the Pies. You deserve the 4th spot. At number 3, tried to get them higher, but I just don't think I can right now, is the Pups. We got the 3 spot for me. Want to put you above the top 2 teams that we got, but we've lost to them.
Yep.
And they're playing really good footy right now. So Pups sitting very comfortable at 3. And number 2 is the Lions. I still think they're the best team in the comp. They're my premiership favourite. They did lose at the Gabba against Collingwood though, so they find themselves just a number 2, which leads to Hot Pies still at number 1. I know they got done to the Cattery. I'm not reading too much into it. They're an older squad. They're going to have games where they fall down. A Jack Crisp goal goes in and it's a completely different weekend.
Exactly.
So Pies find yourselves still number 1 on my top 4 teams.
That's a good list. Similar, I have, but
Ooh.
number 4. So Hock have actually fallen out despite they won this week, but they've fallen out.
Yeah,
I
good
got the
call.
Cattery at 4. Cattery, 4th best team in the comp at the moment. They Well, they beat Hawks and they had a great win against Pies, who I had as my best team in the league last week. So category for number 3, I've got the Pups as well.
Yep.
I want to have them higher, but we lost to Brisbane, we lost to Pies. So we're playing elite footy. Do we have the best midfield in the league? Maybe.
Yes.
But it's compared to these other 2 teams above them. So at number 2, I actually have the Pies. So I had them at 1 last week. They've dropped this week. Yes, they beat Brisbane, but I heard some little, rumours or there's just talk that Pies are resting a bunch of players this week for Freo. They're going over to Optus Stadium in Perth. So I just don't like those kind of vibes. It's showing that, they are old. Still has had a massive year, but he hasn't had a rest. Pendlebury, apparently Maynard sore. Like there's just talks and it doesn't sound like vibes of the best team in the comp.
Who's your source?
SEN.
Oh.
Yeah.
You close with them?
Fireball. They didn't tell me directly.
That's fair. That's fair. Actually, it's a fair shit. That's
and
fair
then
shit.
number 1, the Brisbane Lions. So yes, they lost to the Pies, but they are cruising right now. Like you could easily have a premiership hangover after the year they had last year, and they're 7-1, 8-1.
They're cruising. I do find it tough though. They did lose at the Gabba to the Pies.
They did, but everyone's allowed a stinker. Pies had a stinker.
True.
And now they've lost 2 games. Brisbane only have lost 1 game.
Yeah.
So Brisbane are the best team in the league, in my opinion.
There you go. There's our top 4 teams.
Top 4 teams.
Pretty quality. So we had the same top 4, just moved around a tiny bit. I reckon that's most people's top 4s right now. I don't think that's too much to move around. Like some people could have Gold Coast in there. I don't think they're in there right now.
Gold Coast, Crom, Hawk. Yeah. That's probably the next one.
Probably not.
Hawk right there. It was
probably a bottom 4 team. I think so.
Yeah, get over yourself, buddy. All right, tipping for round 9.
Let's do it.
This season's moving fast.
Can't believe it.
Insane. Start us off Thursday night, Freo v Pies. Pies, this is at Optus Stadium.
Yeah.
So, who do you have?
Yeah, you'll tell them, obviously about they might be resting blokes. Freo are a much different team.
Yep.
At Optus, I think I'm taking Freo.
Yeah,
I think they could get themselves back on track. Everyone will be off them after that St Kilda loss.
Yep.
I'm taking the old Dockers.
I'm taking the Pies. Yes, Freo are a different team at Optus, but Pies, I can't see them losing 2 games in a row. They may be resting players, but...
If they rest players, do you reckon you'll still take them?
Oh, it depends who they rest. If they just rest like 5-6 players and like actual decent guys, Freo should win. It's at home. There's no reason to lose this, but how do you cough up a 60-point loss to St Kilda?
Yeah.
Surely location isn't just the only determining factor.
Shouldn't be that much of a difference.
No, so I don't rate Freo. So Pies get up for me. St Kilda v Carlton. So Carlton are $1.62 favourites. That's Friday night footy.
I think I'm taking the Baggers.
Yeah.
I still think they're a better team than Saints. I don't rate the Saints.
Yeah.
I don't think they're good. We watched them play. They are pretty ordinary. Yep. And I think they just took advantage of a pretty average Fremantle team in Melbourne. I think, I think the Baggers are going to get the dub.
I'm taking Saints. I think they're more consistent across the board.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the star power like Carlton, but Carlton just aren't playing good footy. They beat Geelong. That was a weird one out of the box.
Yep.
But I don't rate their defense apart from Wiedering, and I think Saints will get. Higgins is playing well. Higgins is second in the Coleman.
He's actually good. He's a quality player. I like Jack Higgins. He's good content. He's great content.
All right. Melbourne v Hock first game on the Saturday.
Yep. Melbourne's winning that game.
This is why you're so shit at the tipping comp, because you just don't tip Hock.
It's gonna come. They're gonna lose this week. I actually don't even think Melbourne are that bad. They had a rough first half against the West Coast, but they actually didn't.
No,
they just couldn't score.
Yeah, they couldn't score. They were on it was like plus 20 in the inside 50 count.
Yeah. So I don't think Melbourne's that bad. I think they can beat Hawthorn because I don't think Hawthorn are that good. What's happened to Sicily? He's playing some atrocious football.
It's tough because
he can't kick.
Battle and Barras have come in, and Sicily's kind of lost his little utility role in the defense. He's not this key back that he was kind of being. He's not a floater, and he's up forward. He's not really needed.
His kick's so lazy right now, though. He's turning the ball over so much. Pretty much every time he touches it, he's like trying these crazy ass kicks to hit a bloke up on the tits. He's just turning the ball over. If they weren't winning, this would be a much bigger talking point for Hock ball. So I don't know, keep an eye out on your skipper.
He'll square up. He'll be right. No, I've got Hock winning. That's an abysmal call by you. Essendon v Swans. Swans $1.59 favourites at Marvel. So this is the 4:15 slot.
I think I'm taking Sydney. I still don't think they're back. I still don't think they're a great team. I think they've just got GWS's number a bit.
Yep.
But then Essendon are pretty ordinary and the injuries are starting to stack up for them. It's really Zach Merritt or bust. Give me the Swans. I think they get it over and done. this
Yeah,
weekend.
I think the Swans as well. Essendon are weirdly sitting at 4-3.
I know.
Like it's random. They
Weird.
seem no good, but
Yeah.
they've got 4 wins.
Mm.
But no, I think Sydney. I just compare the teams. Swans
Yeah.
should win this. They got so many injuries.
Yep.
But I don't rate Essendon probably as much as I do the Swans.
Yeah.
But I reckon the Swans.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
Not bad. Not bad.
Big game.
Woo.
Big game. Up in Darwin, going to be a stinker. Gold Coast Suns v the Dogs. Dogs, we're $1.85 favourites.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Good on the Pups. Like that's massive stuff from us. Oh, I'm taking the Pups all day. I'm super confident in this.
Mm.
I think we are good enough to beat any team in the comp right now in any place in the country right now.
Ooh.
So the Pups are going to win.
Pups?
Give us the Pups
Yeah, I'm taking the Pups.
all day.
Yeah, give me the Pups. I think we'll it'll be really one in the middle. Like which midfield gets it to their forwards. Ben King, he's leading the Coleman right now, and they're
I know,
back
so
on.
it's like I think Buzzlinger will definitely be. I don't think he'll be the sub this week.
Because
There's
Port's,
no way you can.
he was the sub against Port, and Port just don't have a forward line.
Yep.
So.
Oh, and it's going to be a big test for Timmy going up against Big Wits. He's a
Yep.
big boy. Can't really move him too well. So, yeah, it's going to be a big game. He's going to have to beat him around the ground. So, this is a good test. Good test. It's really to see who these teams for real. Are the
Yep.
Pups actually for real this year? I think we are. Are Gold Coast for real this year?
Pups by lots.
I don't think they really are.
Pups
by
by
many,
lots.
many points.
The Adelaide Showdown.
Battle of SA.
Or
Mm.
the Crom. So Crom are from $1.60 favourites.
Mm.
I'm taking Crom.
I'm taking Crom. I think they're going to win.
Yep.
Actually, I reckon it'll be somewhat close. Battle of Adelaide. I reckon
Okay.
it'll stay close, but I
Yep.
think Crom will get it done.
Yep.
I just don't see how they're meant to match up. And Adelaide's backline actually
Yeah.
looks pretty solid right now as well. So,
I've got Crom.
yeah, give me Crom.
Richmond v Wet Toast. What a snooze fest of a game.
Jesus Christ.
What a snooze fest of a game.
Bro, that is actually bad. Trying to
is bad.
think, like,
Oh.
fire, this is bad. What would you rather watch
What would you
instead
rather
of
watch?
this game?
Anything. I'd
Right.
rather watch Game of Thrones season 8 again, honestly.
Game of Thrones season 8.
I'd rather watch a full day of golf. Just watching golf,
Full game of golf,
probably.
you reckon?
I'd rather watch Jack and Jill, the movie.
Jack and Jill. That's a great call. I'd rather watch probably like Madam Web again
Madam Web. That was
in the
good.
cinema. Pay $15 to watch Madam Web
I'd rather
in the
watch
cinema.
Ozkick, honestly.
Far out. Ozkick. What about like a full season of the Washington Wizards?
That's shocking. I'd rather watch World War II in colour.
I'd rather like the Star Wars sequels.
That's a crazy
That's
shit.
You gotta watch all
That's
of
when
them.
you know you're.
That's when you know you're pushing it.
That's insane.
What about 3 hours of that Telstra ad they play after the footy? Your team, like,
Bro,
your team
guy's
just
the
got
worst after your team just had a goal kick against you. And then
down
that guy
50 and
pops
this
up.
bloke just pops up, just
Oh,
lanking around. It's
yeah.
bad. It's bad. What about rugby?
Yeah. Oh, that's.
I think that's where we draw the line.
Give me Richmond. And
Yeah,
West
give me
Coast.
Richmond and West Coast.
I reckon
What about
Richmond will win
Maniacs?
this. I reckon Richmond.
Yep.
Yep.
I don't think West Coast are going to win a game now.
No.
They are so bad. If they don't win this week, I think they're in shambles. Richmond shows some good stuff. They show some good stuff.
Okay. So
West
wait,
Coast
who do you
don't.
think?
Richmond.
Okay. Geelong v Giants.
Geelong.
Geelong are $1.45 favourites. Yeah, I reckon Geelong. At GMHBA.
Yeah. Geelong. Yeah, GWS, they got to bounce back. I
Yeah.
think GWS actually somewhat solid
Yep.
in Geelong. I could be wrong.
Okay.
But I think they're somewhat solid, but I don't know. Cattery looked pretty solid as well.
I
So,
reckon
yeah,
Cattery.
give me the
And then
Cattery.
Brisbane v North.
Brizzy by
Yeah,
many
Brizzy.
points.
Brizzy will flog them.
It'll probably be close at half
It's
time,
actually
let's
at
be honest.
Bloodstone, I think it's in Tassie.
Yeah, right.
So,
Probably still Brizzy by many
yeah,
points.
probably.
Yeah.
Okay, last segment of the day.
Ooh.
Smash through this.
Yep.
Ed Richards. Who would you rather? So Ed
Ooh.
Richards is the highest rated player in the competition right now.
Mhm.
So I'm going to throw a few players at you, and you got to pick who would you rather, Ed Richards or them.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So who would you rather, Ed Richards or Josh Dunkley?
Yeah.
Straight up.
Straight up. I think Ed Richards.
Okay.
Yep.
He's taking Ed Richards. Ed Richards or Jai Newcomb?
Ed Richards.
Damn. Ed Richards or Massimo D'Ambrosio?
Ed Richards.
Jeez. Ed Richards or Will Ashcroft?
This is tough. This is really tough. I think right now I'm taking Ed Richards as a player. I think he's more polished than Will Ashcroft right now.
Ed Richards or Noah Anderson?
That is tough. Noah Anderson's a gun, and he's the captain of Gold Coast. I probably got to go Noah Anderson.
Okay. Ed Richards or Hugh McCluggage?
Probably McCluggage. He is
Yeah.
playing like
And he's been so consistent.
he's
Like he's
so good.
in
He's
the All Australian
arguably
squad
their best
every year.
midfielder right now.
Yeah,
Probably McCluggage.
better than Neil.
Yeah, well, I think like if you're trying to tag someone, I reckon McCluggage is more useful with the ball.
All right. Ed Richards or Finn Callahan?
Ed Richards. Right now. Finn Callahan's going to be a gun, but Ed Richards, yeah.
Ed Richards or Max Holmes?
This is tough. I think Ed. Max Holmes is really good, but I don't know. I think Ed's got something about him. That's just a special talent.
Okay. Ed Richards or Jake Saligo?
Ed Richards. Saligo's in a bit of a slump. Not
Oh.
playing great footy the last few weeks.
Ed Richards or Tom Green?
I think Tom Green.
Yeah.
He's the best midfielder at the Giants right now. He's a bull.
Yeah.
He changes their whole game plan when he's in. Yeah, probably Tom Green.
Ed Richards or Andrew Brayshaw?
Ed. Yeah, I'm taking Ed. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Ed Richards or Jack McRae?
Ed. Bro, we got rid of McRae for a reason. No disrespect to the man, but yeah, Ed Richards.
Ed Richards or Bailey Smith?
Oh, Ed Richards. You don't get the off-field issues with
Hey,
him,
no,
and you get a high-quality bloke on and off the field. So Ed Richards.
Ed Richards or Zach Merritt?
Zach Merritt.
Yeah.
He could literally win the Brownlow this year. Yeah, Zach Merritt.
Ed Richards or Jason Horn-Francis?
Oh, Ed Richards. Horn Francis is like, you're kind of waiting for him to be this
Yeah.
absolute stud. Ed Richards is here, and he's still young. Ed Richards.
Ed Richards or Sam Walsh?
Ed Richards. We've touched on this.
We don't rate Sam Walsh. Ed Richards or Chad Warner?
Probably Chad Warner.
Yeah.
He's good enough to be like the best player in the team. So yeah, probably Chad.
Ed Richards or Clayton Oliver?
Oh, right now, Ed.
Yeah.
Clayton. Yeah.
Yeah, that's valid. Ed Richards or LDU?
I think Ed Richards. LDU, I don't think he's actually that smart with the ball. I don't think he actually makes great decisions. Ed Richards just knows what to do.
All right, two more. Ed Richards or Matt Rao?
Right now, oh my God. I think Ed.
I think Ed.
I think he's got more to him. Yeah.
Ed Richards or Harry Sheasel?
Ed.
Damn.
Sorry, Harry Sheasel is obviously going to be a gun, but I'm telling you, I think Ed does so much more with the ball than Sheasel's doing right now. He's so much more impactful. So there we go. And he's the highest rated player in the comp right now.
He is, right?
So you
now.
can't argue with that.
No, you can't.
I love that.
Well, got to respect it. That's us done for the day. We don't have any big hats today. The markets aren't really open. So we'll post those on the socials throughout the
100%.
week. Keep an eye out for them if you want to win some money.
100%. Free money. Free money.
But yeah, thanks for tuning in to another AFL ep.
100%. Make sure go follow us on all our socials, TikTok, Instagram, X, YouTube. Make sure to be listening on Spotify. We got an ep dropping very soon. It's just a great week of footy and the season's just getting started. It's all building up. So make sure you're tuning in to the old Talk and Dribble podcast where we're just chirping every week, just chatting shit
Leave a
out of
review,
our
helps us get found. And yeah,
100%.
thanks for joining us, squad.
We out.